All right, hello, children of New Life. It's another evening where we get to talk a little bit about the Bible. Grateful to be with you. I hope you can tune in if you're tuning in now or maybe later in the weekend. What I wanted to talk about today was about you, actually. I want to talk about you as a person. I want you to think about what makes you unique. Why are you the way you are? Did you ever think about that before? Did you ever ask the question, why do I have eyes this color? Or why is my hair look this color? Or why do I have parents like this? And how tall am I? And why do I like playing various games or hobbies or things? Or what's my favorite color? Or what's my favorite food? All these things that they make you you. Things that are unique to you. I want you to know that you are unique and special. And I don't mean to say that in a sentimental way. Like, I don't want to just say what sounds nice. I want you to know that to be true about yourself. And so the Bible verse is Psalm 137. Psalm 139. Psalm 139, the first few verses say this. I want you to really hear this and think about what they mean. Psalm 139 says this, O Lord, you have searched me and know me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my paths and my lying down. You are acquainted with all my ways. And then it goes on to say, before a word is on my tongue, behold, Lord, you know it altogether. And then later on in that psalm, he's going to say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I want you to know that that's actually true, not just for who wrote that song, but it's true for you and it's true for me. It's true for every single person. That before we were formed in the womb, the Lord knew you. Before you were in your mommy's belly, God knew you. And he was knitting you together. He was forming you there. And the psalm says that you were fearfully and wonderfully made. So there's no one like you. The way God made you is very special. And you and I, we have problems in our life. We call these things sins, things that aren't good. But there's a lot in our life that is good. There's just good things that God made you. And a lot of it has to do with just who you are as a person and what makes you unique. So what I want you to think about is this. I have an ink pad here. And this is a big rectangular squishy pad. And inside of it is it's saturated with black ink. And so if you were to put your finger across this, that ink would get on your finger. And what you can do with that is you can rub it against paper. And if you have too much ink, it doesn't work. If there's just a little bit of ink on your finger, you can rub it against paper. And what you'll see is the prints, your fingerprints, these swirly lines. I want you to look at your fingers right now and look at them really, really closely. And what you'll see is that you have swirly lines all throughout the skin on top of your fingers. And no one has swirly lines like you. Every one of us, our fingerprints are unique. Like, so if I were to touch something, I would leave a fingerprint that is different than your fingerprint. And your fingerprint would be different than the next person's fingerprint. And no one has two fingerprints that are the same. So I want to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to gently, if you push too hard, it doesn't work. You have to gently just rest your finger on the ink and roll it, right? Just like that. Now I just have a little bit on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this paper with my finger. And now, if you can zoom in, I want you to see what my fingerprint looks like. Can you see that well? See how it's all curved and swirly? That's my fingerprint. No one has a fingerprint like that except me. That's my fingerprint for my right hand middle finger. And there's no one else that has one like that. And you, on your fingers, have those swirly lines, and no one else has it like that for you. And the reason is because God made you that way, that you're fearfully and wonderfully made. That when you lie down, the psalm says, God knows it. The thoughts in your mind, God knows it. He's very, very sensitive to you. He knows all sorts of things about you. And he made you so special and different than anyone else because he knows you like no one else. You're your own person, and God loves you that way, so much so that he wouldn't leave you in your sin or me in my sin, but he would save us. That's amazing. So think about Jesus. He had fingerprints. He got his own fingerprints to come into this world to save you and me. So I want you to think about that. And so when you come in this Sunday, this ink pad will be under the screen in the hallway, the monitor, the hall monitor. It will be under this hall monitor on the table with some white paper. And if your parents let you, with your parents nearby, I want you to roll your finger on this and make your own fingerprint. And just think about how God made you and that there's no one like you. Okay, and I'll see you on Sunday.